What's going on, my peoples? It's your boy Kenny, man. I'm back one time for your mind. I'm not gonna be long on this story because this is the issue that I keep saying. You got Fox News using another black brother as a photo op for their white supremacy agenda. And I wanna say this to all the black cops that's out there. Look, logically, I get it. I understand that a lot of y'all are not bad. I get that. Just like I logically understand that all white cops are not bad. Logically, I get that. But what you're failing to realize is that, and I'm gonna break this shit down once again, so the stupid people will stop getting used as political, um, immoral, um, used as ops, photo ops, and they're being used. So you have this cop that all of a sudden he has almost a borderline nervous breakdown of him going back and forth. Well, he riding through the neighborhoods or wherever he may go from work to home, or home from work, or home to work, however it may be. He gets fingers thrown at him, people throwing, saying horrible shit to him or whatever, or looking at him in a way that's wrong. That, like, it could perceive as cruelty or wrong towards police officers, I guess, right? So he goes on this BS crying, nervous breakdown of no one likes law enforcement no more. And I want to just break this down very, very clearly once again to these buffoons, these buck dancing, butter biscuit eating Negroes that decide to take their stupid asses on Fox News or put themselves in these situations where they know that people your own people, fuck everybody else. Your own black people gonna feel a certain way by you just being used as a motherfucking photo op. You are just a photo. You're just a prop. That's all they're using you for, to speak on their racist agenda. And see, let me just say this: the reason I'm mad at this black cop or any other black cop that got a problem with people got lack of respect for them as police officer or whatever the situation may be, you intentionally, you could have denied. You spoke your piece. He did a video. He spoke his piece. It went viral. He it was like 1 million something. It was like 1 million something uh excuse me, views that he got for just over him just speaking his piece. Right? Just speaking his piece, just him as an officer. He probably touched on some things about race and a whole bunch of other things. He probably did all that, right? I didn't see the video. I don't care to watch it because this proves my point. That after you do what you do and say whatever you said to speak your piece, you decided, because most likely you didn't call Fox News. Fox News seen your video and called you and said, hey, come on up here and speak your piece on our platform to show to show that all cops ain't bad, right? They could have told him any type of bullshit ass story or whatever or whatever to get this buck dancing bonanza to go on there and start cooning for police officers, a white systemic racist system that always oppress black people. And I don't give a fuck that you are or you had the you had the right to be a police officer. You know what I mean, the diversity, whatever the fuck it may be. People, our ancestors shedded blood for you to be in that position, but you didn't make any change while you been there. You thinking just because you a black police officer that's a change? No, the system doesn't change because they just allow a lot of Negroes to come in and help them do their white supremacy. Now, let's just listen to this buffoon, and then I'm gonna break this shit down more carefully of the real reason why people like me, and I'm not just gonna say as a black person, because these are some white people that are probably giving them the finger, giving them bad looks, probably saying horrible shit to them, or whatever the situation may be. It ain't just black people. People sick of this shit, and we sick of the silence. We sick of every time you see. Listen, let's just listen to this. Hopefully, y'all can hear this.
Really, actually, it's just a fullness of everything. It seems like now that every morning we wake up or every night that we go to sleep, there's always something negatively that's portrayed by law enforcement. That law enforcement is not a good thing. Law enforcement is not what it used to be. Law enforcement is not what it should be. And actually,
and first of all, it's a fact. It's a fact. Everything he just said that he hears and see, it's all a fucking fact. It's not nothing that is just blown out of proportion. The problem is now you bitches are now uncomfortable of people criticizing you, because for a while we didn't see a lot of the so-called bad cops on camera doing a lot of fuck shit, and you seen it and you said nothing. So now you're bitching and complaining. Oh, now people don't even respect you, and you may not be the bad cop. But the problem and the issue may be, you fuck nigga, is that the simple fact that you probably watch bad cops do bad shit. Not even just to regular citizens, to other brothers and sisters that was probably in law enforcement, and you ain't step up and defend them or side with them at all. We know it's type of bitch niggas like you in the police department. You fuck nigga. Now you want to sit out here, bitch, and complain. You know, we don't get, all we see is bad things about the police. This is why I told y'all. Yes, a lot of this shit is based on racism. A lot of it, but the main issue is, to me, with these fuck motherfuckers don't get, that's why I say I don't fuck with no police. It's because all of them are all of them are bad to me in my eyes. Because like I said, you got fuck niggas like this that I guarantee you, if motherfuckers look in this man's history and see, did he ever stop a cop from doing bad shit? Because I know he have seen the so-called bad cops do bad shit. Have he stepped up, stopped them, reported them, did anything like that? But this punk bitch ass nigga take his bitch ass on Fox News and be used as a photo op for police, But I ain't hearing him do videos or anything like that to go viral or to talk about the bad cops or them fuck cop that killed them fuck cops that killed George Floyd. I ain't hear that video. I ain't seen the video from this fuck nigga. He's a fuck nigga. And that's just is what it is. This I told y'all yesterday. I am on they motherfucking helmet. All these coons, it is coon season for these niggas. I am on them. I see you niggas out. I see any of you black niggas out here cooning. I'm calling you bitch motherfuckers out and I'm putting you on blast. He's a fucking old coward. An old black coward. You go there talking all that bullshit on Fox News, bitch. I ain't seen you do no video about George Floyd killers or Breonna Taylor when they lied on a motherfucking search warrant to the judge to get a warrant that they lied on and they killed that girl. And I don't give a fuck if it was a mistake or not. You lied on something, so your intent is the dude could have did anything in there. We don't know if your intent was to go in there and kill that girl because you lied. I didn't see this bitch nigga out there talking that shit. See, you can't play me like I'm stupid because you ain't consistent. Okay, it's some good cops out there. What do y'all do to make sure that you keep the good cops and get the bad cops around? Nothing. He does nothing. These niggas do nothing. Ain't no such thing as good cops. All them bitches are bad. I don't hear them fighting and saying, you know what? We do need to be accountable for our actions. No more immunity for us. We do something wrong, we get treated just like everybody else. I don't see these good cops getting together, having press conferences, doing none of that. So miss me with the bullshit. Oh my God, I ain't seen all this bad image of cops. Cops are bad. Fuck you and your feelings, nigga. We got children dying in the street because of your fucking weakness. You fucking coward. Let's move on, people. This fuck nigga, man. What up, OG? What up, Nick?
I was riding home and I was thinking in regards to everything. And just now, it's just different. I drive next to people and people are frowning at me. People are purposely doing things to get my attention. They're flipping me off. And again, it was not that way. This is something new. It's a new attitude, and I don't know where it's coming from. I can see where it's coming from, but all of us are not bad.
Yeah.
All of us are.
What is it then? You can't see where it's coming from, or can you? What is it? It can't be both. It can't be both. Listen, I want people to really truly understand it's no two sides to this story. When it comes to police violating and murdering and assaulting citizens. This shit been going on for decades. So for this bitch nigga to get up here and pretend it's two sides to a story, it's no two sides. We don't have two sides. The problem is that main issue is now the citizens are calling that fuck shit out. Because like he gonna say, back in the day it was different. Citizens respected the police. Listen, when I was growing up, dude, I didn't see that all police was bad. Yeah, we had some fuck polices in the neighborhood. We knew that. But we seen more good police than we seen bad. I know I only can speak for me. I can't speak for everybody else. But when I was young, I didn't look at cops that they was bad, they was horrible. They was law enforcement. They needed to be respected. As long as you bob out of law, they won't fuck with you. And that's how it was growing up for me to a certain extent in my life. I didn't see anything different from others, what their experiences may be. I was a fucking child, so I didn't know no better. But as I got older and seen the police brutality that happened to me and other people and family members and friends of mine, I seen these motherfuckers continue to do it. And then when you research and you educate yourself and you do the research on these motherfucking police officers, they've been doing this shit before I was even born. Of abusing the black community, mainly. Murdering us. And I didn't see none of these bitch-ass cops all of a sudden speak up and stand up for what the other bad cops was doing. I didn't see them fight against it, and I still don't see it. All I hear is a bunch of excuses of some bad apples. Or, yeah, some bad police officers, but what are y'all doing? You keep asking the citizens to understand where the fuck you coming from or where the police is coming from. Okay, that's fine. So, but what are y'all going to do? Are y'all going to continue to keep the same system going? Because if you are, nothing is going to change from either side. We're not going to respect you motherfuckers. And so then they bring up a tape about a woman. I couldn't tell if the woman was black or white. I couldn't really tell to a certain extent because she talked very proper. She didn't sound what you could perceive as urban or black, if you want to say. She didn't have an accent, so I couldn't see if she was. I didn't think she was a Mexican. I don't know. I can't tell. But I don't give a fuck either way. If she was white, black, Mexican, she straight called the Mexican cop out and told him, "Hey, you're a killer. You're a murderer." And she's not lying about that, because, like I said, long as they don't stand up and fight against those bad cops, that so-called bad apples, they are just as complicit in the murders that those so-called bad cops are doing, because they don't say nothing. That's just like me now, people. Listen, just think about it. All right. I was a part of a system of fuck shit, of in the hood, selling dope and doing all the fuck shit that I was doing, right? Okay, you can say I didn't know no better. I was naive to a lot of shit, right? But as I got older and as I learned about my behavior and behaviors of the people that I associated with, or that type of atmosphere of selling narcotics or whatever, however you want to look at selling drugs into the hood, I understood that, number one, it does bad to the community, right? It doesn't help, right? It brings violence. It scares the people in the neighborhood not to want to do anything for the community, or even go outside in the community and just do normal community shit, right? I understood that, right? So imagine that I know better, right? I know the fuck shit that goes with that shit, that the after effect, the shit that hurts the community, and I don't say nothing about it. I just keep making excuses for the niggas that's sitting there shooting and selling drugs and terrorizing the fucking community. I'm just making excuses for them all the time. You know, it's a reason, systemic racism. It's the reason that these niggas is in the street doing what they doing. Okay, that's one side of it. Fine. It may be even right, even correct. Okay? I may have a point. Right? But I don't condone that shit. I just continue to keep saying, hey, making just that one point, that one side issue of why that shit is happening, but not telling these niggas, listen, you fucking the community up though. You're not helping. It's in the moment reaction of your problems. We can find different ways to survive in our neighborhoods than doing this. If I don't ever come from that point of view and I always just side with the motherfuckers that's doing wrong, then, or I ain't trying to change it or help change it or speak out against the violent shit, then I'm no different than those niggas that's continue to shoot and kill niggas in the hood. I'm condoning this shit. I'm just as morally responsible as they are. And this is what these bitch ass cops want us to not understand. Fuck this nigga, man.
They are frowning at you. They are flipping you off, as you said. It's not because you cut them off in traffic. It's because you're a police officer. You're wearing a uniform. You're driving a car.
That is correct, and that is the only reason why.
Let me explain something to you. These motherfuckers from Fox News, these white supremacists, these white Klan members, these white Nazis that's on there talking to this coon ass nigga, they are enjoying this shit. That's the fucked up part about it, that this nigga, a lot of these coon ass niggas don't understand. They are enjoying of using your black ass for their white supremacy. They are enjoying this shit.
heartbreaking to me. When I got in law enforcement 20 years ago, it was not that way. In the last 2 years or so, law enforcement has really been just put out there as something negative, and we're not.
You hear him. You hear him. It wasn't like that. The reason it wasn't like that is because you bitches wasn't being recorded like you are now. You're now the citizens are now trying to hold you bitches accountable for your bad actions or for your so-called bad apples in a fucking white supremacy system. Justice system. That's why it's different. If everything was all good with law enforcement, why is it an issue? You just thinking people just, that's why I say this shit is insulting to me. This is why I don't like having conversations with people like this. What are we having a conversation about if you're not even going to acknowledge the problem? When you're going to insult my intelligence, like this just came out of nowhere. People just all of a sudden just saying these bad things about police officers. Nigga, please. Fuck are you? Fuck what universe you live in, nigga. And all these motherfuckers, they all are mad now because nobody is buying that bullshit. It's just a few bad apples, but we got a lot more. It's a lot of good cops. We ain't buying that shit no more. The citizens, no matter what color skin they are, we not buying that bullshit. I told you, this shit, this movement of these fuck polices, they got to go. Nobody is buying that shit no more. Nobody's buying. We're seeing how you guys just, even if you ain't the bad cops, we see how we're seeing your reaction. We're wondering why none of y'all stop this motherfucker. Why y'all ain't stopping them? Why y'all just letting them do it? Because it's the boys in blue code. But these are the same people that get mad at the citizens in neighborhoods where violence may be happening, and they get mad at the citizens. You need to speak up. You see something, you need to say something. You're not saying nothing, you're making the situation worse. Well, what are they doing? They doing the same exact shit they accuse the citizens of doing. It ain't our fault that you're fucking cowards. Then you get mad at the citizens got a right to want to say nothing and protect themselves. They live amongst the shit. You work there and you won't say nothing. You go back home to your luxury neighborhoods, you sucker ass fuck niggas. But you mad at the citizens because they don't speak up. You speak up. Stop asking black people to do something that you ain't willing to do. You sucker motherfuckers. Fuck out of here.
We were actually took an oath to protect and serve. And don't get me wrong, it is what it is. Some people make bad decisions, but the majority of us.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. Some people make bad decisions. It's not about no bad. This shit is intentionally. Because we know that they lie on police reports. We know the captains and the union reps help create a whole different encounter of a situation that actually happened. We know this. Don't tell me certain people make mistakes. I know a fucking mistake when I see one. But if a situation happens, an incident happens between the police and a citizen, and somebody gets murdered or police brutality may happen, right? And we see it on camera, right? But mind you, we don't see the tape right away because a lot of this shit don't come out like it's supposed to because the police department tries to hide the incidents. And to the community or to the people start getting fired up, getting out that bitch, asking for answers, right? That's a lot what happens with the police department. But what they don't, what they for some odd reason, they're not willing to say, or they scared to say, because they're cowards, is that they get they do these reports, the police officers, of the encounter they may have, if it was deadly, or if it just was some violent shit just happened. You know, some assault maybe happened. That the police officer may beat the motherfucker up or they had to use force. Whatever. They lie on reports. They lie on the reports that they supposed to give to their superiors. We know that happens. So a lot of that shit is not mistakes. It's on purpose because they purposely lie on reports about the situations. We know that's a fact. And we know that they get away with it. Just like nobody, like I said, they can say whatever they want about the Breonna Taylor shit, all they want. They lied. So their intent, to me and a lot of people's mind, is that they intentionally went there to try to kill that girl. My opinion from what I seen. Because they lied to just get the warrant to even go to this young one's apartment. They lied on the warrant. They lied to the judge. Ain't that criminal? Shouldn't that, if we lied to the judge, ain't that criminal? Ain't that purging yourself? You lied. But it was no consequences at all. We get no consequences for that, them cops or whoever lied to that judge. It's no consequences for those motherfuckers. But this dude sitting here acting like out of the last 2 years, we don't know what's happened. It just all of a sudden, imaginably just came that they hate police. People hate police. Come on, man.
On every day, the majority of us that want to protect and serve not just the community, but in transit to the communities that we do police. We're generally good-hearted people that want to make a difference. We do, and that's just my standpoint. And on that day, I just honestly had enough. Yeah. My heart was broken because of the things that I saw in just traveling home to my family.
I want to know, was his heart broken when he seen George Floyd get killed? Why didn't he have enough when he seen that with that so-called bad cop did? No so-called bad cops did. How many people? We don't even know how many times this fucking coon bonanza ass nigga have seen bad cops do shit right in front of him, and he did nothing about it. He didn't get tired. He didn't say nothing. He ain't had enough. He didn't go viral. He didn't make a video. He most likely probably did nothing. But now he on Fox News whining and crying. I don't give a fuck how these cops feel. I don't care. Because I know they don't give a fuck about the people. They are bullies and badges. That's all they are. And they hide behind that blue wall. That's all they do. Even the coward ass black and minority motherfuckers, they hide behind that shit. And I mean by they hiding behind it is because now they say, well, look at the diversity in the police departments. It means shit to me. I done seen black cops act more out of control and be abusive to black people or minority people than a white person. I seen black police officers act out. That's just a fact. We know that. So they hide behind that blue wall. And just like that lady, whoever she was in that car, and she called the Mexican cop a motherfucking rapist, a racist murderer. And she told him, she like, I don't give a fuck how much you want to be white. You're still a Mexican. She told him straight up. And she wasn't lying. And I don't give a fuck who feel bad about what she shouldn't have said. She said whatever the fuck she felt like she had to say. It was all right to say it. And you know what? And she wasn't wrong. How many times that Mexican, we don't know for sure, how many times this Mexican cop sat by and allowed other white cops beat the shit out of other Mexicans or other black minorities in the country? How many times we don't know how many times he sat back and just allowed that shit? But all of a sudden today, that day his temperament was good to this woman on a traffic stop. He said, she said, what you pull me over for? She asked him. She said, I know I think it was like a 50 or 40, miles per hour, lane or whatever, wherever it was, right? Street. She said, I'm going 38, 36. So what is the reason you pull me over for? This motherfucker makes up again. And this is what I be saying. This is why you got to watch these motherfuckers. He says, I pulled you. He couldn't, at first he couldn't say nothing. Then he had to think about it. And then he said, oh, well, I pulled you over because you was on the phone. Come on, man. And the lady said, and I'm going to take her motherfucker side before I take a police officer side, because all of them bitches lie. In my eyes, I'm going to take her. She said, I picked the phone up because you was stopping me. That's why I picked the phone up. So that's why I am going to take the side of this woman, and I'm okay with her calling him a racist Mexican. A rapist, a racist, killer Mexican. That's what I think that's what she called this motherfucker. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. What up, LT? I'm fine with it. I ain't got no problem with this woman said. They putting it viral now, or what this woman did. See how they acting towards police? Fuck the police. Fuck the police, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Listen, nigga, I want all the police to know, man. Listen, this ain't business. This personal. I don't give a fuck about none of y'all. I don't give a fuck what color skin you are, what color race you are, what gender. I don't give a fuck. You could be a gay police, an alphabet police. I don't give a fuck. All you motherfuckers are criminals to me. All you bitches are liars and deceivers. And you all got blood on your fucking hands, and you know it. Because I know you have stood by and allowed a lot of this shit. Don't tell me only black people all of a sudden we seeing this shit. And y'all work in this system with these so-called bad people, and you didn't see these people out of control doing fuck shit? I'm telling y'all, my people. I'm trying to tell y'all. Don't allow these motherfucking people to fool you or who these police officers really are. Because if you pull the curtain back, you see all the fuck shit. That's why they hide behind that immunity shit. That's why they hide behind that blue wall. They hide behind the police unions and shit like that. That's why they hide behind them. And just always remember this. Them bitches even protected by the attorney generals in some of these states. The prosecution, the lawyers, the judges. They even got the judges backing them. That's why they ain't scared to do shit on camera. It ain't no consequences for them. And that's why they sitting out here going, we can't, they don't welcome us in stores. Nobody want to see you motherfuckers right now. Nobody wants to be around police officers. Just like niggas don't want to be around gangbangers, nigga. Nobody want to be around no fucking criminals. And that's what the police departments is. It's a criminal entity. Plain and simple. All through America. To the Texas Rangers, to the sheriff, the deputies, all the motherfuckers. LAPD, NYPD, wherever you may be. They all a gang. That blue wall, that little patch that they have with the blue flag and black and blue in it. Them motherfuckers, that is a gang tag, nigga. That's how I look at it. Anytime I see that shit, it's a gang tag. These motherfuckers are in a gang. They are gang members. Plain and simple. If Black Lives Matter, a terrorist group, then they are gangs. Then the motherfucking police is a gang. The fuck out of here with that shit.
Be high. It used to be waves. Yeah. It used to be smiles. It used to be somebody saluting you. The last time I saw a salute, and I have a military background, I'm a Marine. That means the world to me. And it's not. I mean, I want to tell black people this. This is the prime example of why. Listen, I salute all
black brothers and sisters that serve for this country. Is no disrespect in that way. But this is why I tell black people, you never serve for this country. This is how a lot of those niggas come back. This is how they come back. They come back as acting like the country is in a good place. These motherfuckers have been over in the war, or they've been over in other countries going to war with other countries. And they have, and I'm gonna just explain to you very, very clearly. A lot of these motherfucking Marines and military people, they don't know what the fuck going on back home. They don't know what's going on here. Their main focus is to stay alive over wherever they may be. They have no clue about what's going on here. No clue. So when they get back, they're shell shocked. It's like a motherfucker being in jail for a long period of time, for let's say a decade, and he come home, and you know now, like we're in a society like it used to be like every 5 years shit change, right? Shit, we down to the point like every 2 years shit change. Like just how the speed of the world is moving, the society is moving, and new gadgets and new things is just different. Everything's different every 2 years. Imagine being locked up for 10 fucking years and you come home, and last time you was home, beepers was popping. Niggas had pagers. Listen, people, it was a shell shock to me. No lie to you. I think it was maybe about two or 3 years ago. Right? It was like shocking to me. I went back to my old neighborhood and seen some family members and shit. I think my aunt, it was somebody's birthday or something like that. And I went back, and I think it was my aunt's birthday. And I went back and, I got with the family. And mind you, my family on my father's side, a lot of them, they live in Humphrey County, or they live in the Dominican Republic, or they live in Baltimore City, in the city. I mean, probably got other family members and shit around the country and shit that's on my father's side of the family, but I don't know them like that, right? Now, my family members on my father's side, all of them live in the neighborhood where I grew up at, where I did a lot of my fuck shit at, right? They still live there in that community, okay? Listen, I went back to that motherfucker, people, and I was looking around and shit, and I went to, it was like an old place. It was like a place where I used to hang out around. And I was talking to one, I think it was my cousin or somebody, right? A family friend. I was like, when there used to be a phone booth right here? He said, yeah. He said, they don't have phone booths no more. I was like, hey, what? And mind you, it's not like I didn't know what was going on in society and shit like that. But in the hood, shit is different. Like even in the hood, like even when I went downtown, ain't no pay phones down that bitch downtown Baltimore. Like it's not. There's no pay phones anywhere. I didn't realize that. So just imagine, and mind you, I am in society, but sometimes you could live somewhere else and not know about certain shit, right? So just imagine you've been locked up for a long period of time, 10 years, and you come home and shit is different. You know nothing about what's going on. You get shell shocked. You don't know what the fuck. Because you've been conditioned of a set of rules that you live by for 10 years. So the rules is different too. Laws have been changed in the last 10 years. So just imagine, my whole point is just imagine a lot of these vets, these motherfuckers that serve for the country, they come over, they've been probably over that bitch for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Doing, over in other country doing the stint, right? And they come back and shit is different. Like I said, in 2 years, things change. One like a decade ago, every 5 years shit have changed. Or a decade before, or 5 years before that, 10 years shit have changed. Since society is moving and growing, the future is coming. So shit is like it used to be every 10 years, shit have changed. Now then it was every 5 years, and then now it's every 2 years. Shit change. What up, Donna? What up, Donna, babe? Shit changes, my people. Shit is not the same. And so a lot of these vets come back, they're sitting there and they things change. Yes, motherfucker, you've been over in the war. Your mind is, you know what I mean? You don't know what the fuck going on back home. You're barely talking to your own family. You don't have think about. They don't have even time to think about what's going on back home of society or what's going on because nigga they weren't about staying alive. They calling it now woke culture. It's not woke culture. It's people finally waking the fuck up of what reality really is. Everybody, believe it or not, lives sometimes in certain parts of the country, all around the country, believe it or not, around in certain parts of the country, or it depends where you live. People live in different realities. And the reason is because we are dictated of what we need to pay attention to. And so when you dictate it in a way of how our government and states and shit have shit to where we focus on opposite things that don't matter, or like a motherfucker working 3 or 4 jobs, they don't really know what's kind of really going on in society, really. Because they spend majority of their days and weeks at jobs, at these jobs. So that reality don't really matter. I mean, not matter, but they don't pay attention to it. Listen, and I'm gonna be very, very clear about this, right? I'm not trying to make light of the virus, the coronavirus. I'm not trying to make light of it, right? But it was some pros out of this. I know we lost 500,000 people. I get that, and my condolences to them and to the family. But it was a kind of certain things was positive that came out of that. Having this virus and shutting down the country the way it got shut down. It made people, I believe, stay still and really focus what the fuck. They had nothing but time to be online. They had nothing but time to watch news. They had nothing but time to watch social media. They had time. They had time to focus on their family and shit like that, to know the bad and the good about their own fucking family, right? Or even their kids, things that they probably didn't even realize about their own kids, right? I'm telling y'all this once again. The Ahmaud Arbery situation would have been still covered up. Even if it would have came out, if that virus wouldn't have came, they wouldn't have shut down the country. People would have just, brushed it to the side like they did other incidents like that was on video. Because mind you, the Ahmaud Arbery shit happened months before it even came out. The Breonna Taylor shit as well. That happened. Those 2 incidents happened way before George Floyd, before the virus happened, before they shut down the country. Nobody paid that shit any mind. It didn't get coverage. It didn't do anything. It wasn't no news. When the country shut down, it wasn't no news really. So they was digging in crates for shit to find news. The fucking mainstream media actually was doing a fucking job. And the George Floyd shit wouldn't have been a big issue. They'd have swept that shit under the rug like it wasn't no big thing. If the fucking coronavirus didn't shut down the country, I guarantee you that I'll put money on that. So this whole notion that people all of a sudden being woke, it's not that people are being woke. People had time to sit the fuck down and stay still. And so now that even though shit's starting to get back to where starting to get back to where it was, we're starting to get back to shit. Mainstream media and social media cannot stop making issues about these issues, because if we do that, if we do it again and pretend, make it like it's normal, it's like these situations is normal, it's going to happen, then we're not going to fix the problem. The cops will be right back out there, what they even doing right now, but they will go up. It will skyrocket even more of these incidents. So yes, I'm saddened that a lot of people died from this corona thing, but believe it or not, it was almost borderline good to a certain extent, because it made the shutting down the country. I ain't gonna say the coronavirus, but shutting down the country, it stopped people and it made people realize what the fuck was going on. normally, and I'm not even talking about like just white people. I'm talking about, you know, just even black people. A lot of black people don't got time to be sitting around watching news and, you know, staying still. We working. A lot of us working 2-3 jobs. We got families and shit. So we not even paying attention to a lot of the corrupt shit that's going on in our country, a lot of the bills that's being passed, and a lot of the corruption or what these police officers doing. We just and a lot of times, a lot of us was just hearing a lot of this shit like the George Floyd, because George Floyd ain't the first, and he ain't gonna be the last. He's not the last. But listen, but it made black people probably would just chalk it up as like it's normal. It happens. I ain't got to worry about it. I can't worry about that shit because I got to keep, you know, food on the table, keep a roof over my head and my kids' head, my family. But it made people sit and stay still and wake up, not being woke, but waking the fuck up about the realities of what's going on in all of our communities around the country. Listen, even if it doesn't happen in the suburbs, just the even thought of this shit is a possibility for some of these white people that live in these suburbs, that this shit can maybe happen to their neighbor that might be black or Puerto Rican, or it may woke them up. We know it has. So this nigga is full of shit. Let's move on.
And it needs to change.
Major Dingle, I think we can all give you a salute. I know we're not on camera right now, but I'm doing it if you see me. I salute you. I know Steve and Brian do. We love you for everything you've done for all of us. God bless you so much. And I do make my daughter walk up to police officers, and we both together thank them, because when we're in an emergency situation, you're the ones we're going to call that are going to come to our defense. And
First of all, I'm not thanking no police officer for doing what they signed up to do. Nobody asked them to do that. Nobody asked these people to be police officers. Nobody asked them. And I'm going to make that very, very clear. I don't owe you nothing. I'm not walking my kid up to no police officer to thank no police officer for what? You signed up the bid, just like like a fireman. And it's no, listen, and I'm not trying to disrespect what they go do. Or, you know what I mean? Or what they might have, some of them, the reasons of why they signed up to be police officers. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying I'm not celebrating you for something that you signed up to do. You already being celebrated. You being protected by the blue wall. When your fellow officers do something wrong and you don't say nothing. Talking about I love you and all that other fuck shit. That's fake. That's fake shit. And this nigga look like a coward sitting there. Sound like a bitch. Listen, let me just explain something to people. Until these police officers families start getting terrorized and shit like that, you know, people going to their house committing crimes at their house and shit like that. Until then I may feel some fucking type of sorrow. But until then, I don't give a fuck about their feelings or how they perceive when they go to work. That's not our problem. That is not on the people. That is on them to fix the problem. They supposed to be fixing having better relationships with the community. That ain't up to us. They the ones started this shit. The community didn't start it. They did. They are going around being silent about the so-called bad cops that's out here. They don't say nothing. They don't say nothing to their own people. So what the fuck? Why would it be our responsibility for the communities to have a better to go out our way to have a better relationship with them? Listen, man, nobody listen. Let me just explain to you. I'm not saying it's okay for people to be going out doing what this man said they do to the police. First of all, if people do that shit to him, that is bold. That is some bullshit. Okay? Now, let's put money on this. Anybody, use common sense here, people. You know this for a fact. When he said that people was saying shit to him, rude shit to him, giving him the middle finger and shit like that, right? You know goddamn well they wasn't black. They was white people. Most likely doing it. Black people don't do shit like that. You will rarely see black people do shit like that. That is motherfuckers that got a death wish. Because black people know you don't be fucking around with the police in that type of way. We don't throw middle fingers and be talking to the police any kind of way. That ain't our shit. And like I said, if it is some black people that doing that shit, man, shut the fuck up. Why are you provoking the situation? We ain't got to like the police, but we ain't got to provoke them either. And it's not about being scared. This is about, what do you provoke? You won't go in those neighborhoods and be provoking gangs, would you? Would you go promote niggas that you know that is known killers in the neighborhood? No. So don't go up to these killers and be provoking them. And I ain't taking the police side. I'm just trying to look out for your well-being. Because you're going to get a cop that say, what you say? And I seen this shit happen where niggas is saying shit to the cops and they get pulled over and get roughed up for just saying fuck the police or giving a middle finger. You see, black people look at cops wrong, they pull us over. You look nervous. What? When I looked at you, you stared at me, you look nervous. You up to something? I seen videos like this. So like I said, if that is a possibility that is some black niggas out there, they got a death wish. But that's rare. But most likely whoever was doing this to this brother was white people. That's white people shit.
And possibly save our lives. We did want to get your reaction from this one video. LA County Sheriff's deputies put this out because this police officer says not only does he have his body camera video that he wears, but he also has personal footage that he wears to protect himself just because of the heartbeat of the liability, exactly, of everything that's happening in our country. So he pulled.
Well, who came up with that? It wasn't the police. Listen, we had more police officers around the country did not want body cams. When it mainly came from the black community to hold them accountable. That came from the black community. So now all of a sudden they trying to act like the cops doing something responsible. A lot of cops did not want body cams. You go around some of the countries and some of these rural states, these motherfuckers don't even got body cams. They won't even pass a budget for these motherfuckers to even get body cams. Think about that shit. So she's sitting out here pretending like, oh my God, like they came up with the body cam shit. They didn't come up with it. It was from the black community that pushed this agenda for these motherfuckers, officials to make these cops wear body cams. That did not come from law enforcement. And listen, I want people to start realizing this shit. When you get pulled over, stop telling the police that you're recording them. Don't let them know what you're doing. Don't let them know what you got. You're telling them too much. Because they can change how they're going to approach you now, because they probably was going to come on some fuck shit. Now that you tell them, look, I'm recording you, man. And a lot of them don't give a fuck, but some of them do. Okay? Now, stop telling the police what you got. It's like telling the enemy what you plan on doing or what you got planned for them. Stop it. Just push record on your fucking phone. Stop waving your phone around. Listen, just the interactions of you. If you want to show that they being recorded, you turn the camera or whatever, however it may be. I tell people to invest in car cameras. Get them bitches in the back of your car, in the front of your car, and in the inside of your car. I tell people that all the time. Stop telling the police that you videotaping them. Stop it. Let them act out how they gonna act out. Cause listen, when you tell them that, some of them change up. I want all these bitches on candy camera, nigga. I want them to show their true colors. This whole notion we want them to start acting well because of the cameras. No. They should, if these are cops that are pretending to be good cops, they're really not good cops. We shouldn't, you know the crazy part about this? It shouldn't even be an issue about holding them accountable. They shouldn't be fuck cops. They shouldn't probably even be cops anyway. If fucking body cameras and shit like that and people recording them, making them act right, then that's not they shouldn't be cops. Like they shouldn't be police officers at all. These ain't children. These are grown ass people. They old enough to know how the fuck they supposed to conduct themselves. And if they don't think that, or they just hiding their true feelings because they being recorded, then this is the whole reason I say that the system is systemically fucked up and racist. It's a fucked up justice system. Listen, people, I know how to conduct myself in situations. Yes, people may act a certain type of way around others, but that's because most likely you don't want to offend other people, and that's fine. Listen, when you are in a profession like being a police officer, listen, you shouldn't have to know how to conduct yourself. You shouldn't have to be, to a certain extent, watched for how to conduct yourself, because it's your job to know how to conduct yourself, to de-escalate situations, to be the protector of the people, regardless if the fucking citizen is in the wrong or not. You should know how to conduct yourself. But that just lets you know how fucked up these police officers are, man.
Phone while she was driving, and this is the reaction that he got. Listen to this.
The limit is 40 and I was going 38, so why are you harassing me?
You're correct. I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
You can't be on your cell phone while you're driving.
I wasn't on my phone. I was recording you because you scared me. I'm perfectly legal and I'm a teacher. So there.
Congratulations.
Murderer. You're a murderer.
He's only citing you for using your cell phone while you're driving. That's it.
There you go, ma'am. Sign inside the red box.
For him being a Mexican racist. What is that name? Here you go, Mexican racist. You're always going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that,
right?
That's funny to me. I ain't gonna lie. That lady had me dying laughing at one period of time. But like she said, and he damn near admitted it himself. She said, the reason I had my phone up because you scared me. Listen, people are afraid of the police, man. They're afraid of the police. And listen, I need the police officers to understand this. It's a reason why the people feel the way they feel. It's not just all of a sudden people hate police. It's not that. Now they're trying to make it seem like everybody else is being a racist or they hate police officers now. And nobody just all of a sudden woke up and said, you know what? We're gonna hate and we dislike police officers. We're gonna be racist or bigot towards police officers. That's bullshit. And like I said, if it's racist to call a motherfucker that's a racist, and that means that you're racist, then I don't know what racist mean. I don't know what anti-Semitic mean. I don't know what bigotry mean. I don't know what none of that mean. But like I said, it's all smoke screens. It's all to deflect you from their actions. Now watch what this bitch nigga say.
Wow. Wow. You see, this is my reaction to that. The truth of the matter is simply this, is that is more common than you all could imagine. The fact of the matter is that is it not the reverse? If you are telling me that I'm a racist simply because I made a pullover legally, a good pullover because you're on your phone and you're breaking the law, versus when you're telling me I'm racist, but no, you're racist for calling me a racist. This has
First
to
of all,
stop.
let me explain something to you. I'm not saying that the lady may have been right of calling this motherfucker a racist and shit like that. Maybe this lady had a bad day. She is a school teacher. School teachers are very it's a lot of stress being a school teacher. I'm just telling you, especially now in this time right now of shit being shut down, people not going to school, right? So shit is stressful, right? These cops are walking around drinking coffee, eating donuts, sitting in spaces to watch people to hopefully encounter somebody doing not even committing a crime, but just violating traffic stop, some a violation. That's what they do all day. But some of these cops, they're not in neighborhoods where the violence is actually happening. Listen, let me just explain something to y'all. If they actually really gave a fuck about where violence is, like violence in neighborhoods, right? They would be there all the time. They will park on the corners where the drug dealers sell drugs at, or where the people that commit crimes, they usually commit the crimes at. They would be in the neighborhoods. They don't. They wouldn't. They would be walking up and down the streets in the neighborhoods where the violence is, where the gang members are. But they don't. Okay? So they're not protecting and serving the community like they say they are. We don't know what the fuck they doing. Listen, I'm not saying the lady is right to call a man a Mexican racist and shit. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying, it was funny. But listen to me. Just like the lady said, I seen you scared me. That's why I picked my phone up and started recording your ass. This is before he pulled her over. Now, it is a violation to be driving what you have in your phone. Nobody's denying that. So it's almost a catch-22. Her reasons for saying that she picked her phone up kind of really don't matter, because you don't supposed to be using your phone while you're driving. So it's a catch-22. So either way, if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty, what is the reason why this lady felt like she had to pick her phone up and record the police officer when she seen the police before he even pulled her over? Don't tell me she just all of a sudden woke up and say, I hate police. It's not that. That's what these punk ass police officers trying to pretend that people all of a sudden hate the police. You know the reason. You do nothing about it. You sitting there pretending we good. We still trying to protect. It's a lot of good ones. It's not. You all are bad. Plain and simple. And until you recognize that and stop trying to blame the victims or the people that are afraid of you, the people that don't even have the power to do anything about your bad apples, or even to you by standing there and not doing anything about your fellow bad officers, you do nothing about it. Until you stop blaming them and take a look at the inside of what the fuck you're doing and create some change of what you're doing in amongst your blue wall, don't try to blame the citizens for their reactions to you. The reason they're reacting the way that they're reacting towards you is because of you. Not doing nothing about the bad cops. You don't get a pass because you didn't do what the bad cop did, but you seen what the bad cop did and you did nothing. You said nothing. So you're just as bad as he is. Probably even worse because you know better. Just like that cop may kind of know better, but he might be just one of them motherfuckers just amped up on authority, like, you know, a bully. But you know better, and you sat by and you allowed it to happen. And I don't give a fuck if it doesn't happen in your police department. If it happens somewhere else, y'all blue wall y'all together. You call that shit out. That's not what us police officers stand for. Get his ass out of there. But they don't do that. So miss me with they motherfucking phony ass. They so distraught that the citizens are treating them this way. Fuck them. How many black mothers and fathers right now home that lost their kids to them so-called black cops, and you bitches ain't say shit? Might give a fuck about their feelings. You get to go home to your motherfucking family. How many brothers and sisters can't go home to their family? You know why? Because they dead. Children dead. Because of these so-called bad apples. And you say nothing. Miss me with that bullshit. Hold on, people. Hold on, goddamn commercial.
It really does. That officer did. He kept his composure, which is a good thing. Because that is what we're taught to be professional in all scenarios, in all cases. So we don't deserve that. Right, maybe.
So why is it not a why the bad apples don't do it then? If mind you, this is how I know they're trained to know how to act. So that's why when people talk about they need better training, they don't need better training. They get trained how to conduct themselves, no matter if the fucking citizen is acting a fool or not. They know how to act. He knows that, and all the rest of them punk ass police officers know that. So when I hear these stupid people on mainstream media and social media and these phony ass politicians talk about we need to put more money into training, they already know how to act. They already know how to conduct themselves in these situations. This coon ass nigga just admitted it. So I know that they know that. So don't tell me we got to spend more taxpayer money for them to get trained for what? For what? They know how to conduct themselves. And let me explain something to you. When they tell you about these police officers don't know how to conduct themselves when mentally ill people have a situation, that's a lie too. I done seen police officers know that they're dealing with it right away. Know that they're dealing with it because the call comes in and it tells them the person is having they're having a nervous breakdown or a mental breakdown. It goes through the police scanner. They know already when they get on the scene, when they're dealing with mentally ill people, they are trained in a way as well. So you know you don't supposed to go there acting a fucking fool. You're supposed to go there with some type of compassion or some type of de-escalation, knowing that you're going to deal with a lot, dealing with somebody that's mentally ill. You got to have patience. They are trained for this. So when they go in there and they dealing with kids that got autism and shit like that, and they wilding out and they doing shit like that, and they shoot these kids in the back, or they beat them, or they tase them, or whatever the situation may be, it is on purpose. It's laziness. It's not wanting to do their fucking job. Plain and simple. They are trained. You don't need no fucking social worker to tell you. Let me just explain something to you. And another thing on the flip side of that. Everybody, most likely, these police officers have somebody they know or somebody in their family that has a mental illness. So they know. So when you see these motherfuckers in these incidents on video where they're killing autism kids or they're killing mentally ill people, it's on purpose. It's plain laziness. They didn't want to do their job. Because when you're dealing with anybody will tell you this, you don't got to be a medical professional for this. Anybody tell you when you're dealing with somebody that has a mental illness or they having a mental breakdown, you got to show some type of compassion. You ain't yelling and screaming at them, getting aggressive with them. You trying to calm them down. You trying to de-escalate that shit. Mind you, citizens know this. So don't tell me the police officers don't know how to conduct themselves. This buck dancing nigga just told you they do. They are being trained. They already trained that way. So we don't need to be giving more citizens taxpayer money to give to these motherfuckers for training. They're not going to use it for training. They're going to put this shit and they're going to get them more weapons and all that other fuck shit. These bitches, let me just explain something to you. The police do not need protection. They got all the protection in the world. They are the most protected motherfuckers in the country. Nobody is, it's very, very rare that you see people going up and killing police officers, getting in shootouts with them. It's very rare. People don't allow these people to sit here and have you thinking that people, criminals, and even criminals, motherfuckers just going up, doing shootouts with police officers. Like that shit happens every day. It does not. They don't have that. They are not, listen, their profession is the most protected in this country. Damn commercial again. Hold on, people.
I 100% agree. So what's going to change it? What could begin to change it? This is just going to be one of those periods where police officers aren't respected and it'll just boomerang and go back to the way it was. What will change?
No, I don't see this going back to the way that it was without a conversation. The truth of the matter is that we have two sides, and two sides need to be heard. But people need to listen, not to respond, but listen.
Let me tell you something. Well, if people can't respond, what are we listening to? And first of all, this is what I be saying. This is why I don't like America, man. I actually, listen, y'all know I don't use hate like this. But this is why I hate America, man. I'm disgusted by this country. I'm sick of these fucking stupid people trying to play us like we stupid. They're trying to pretend like this shit is a both sides thing. It's not. That's like when every time you hear Meghan McCain, she'll say, yeah, it was wrong that the Republicans did it, but the other side does it. Stop. That's not the issue. The issue is what that motherfucker did. Well, what that side did. It ain't about the other side. Like the new thing now is that the only way I take accountability for what I do, this is what you get from these nut jobs, right? These right-wing nut jobs, these fucked up ass police officers. Listen to me. Only way I take self-responsibility if you do. What, the victim? The victim got to take some type of responsibility into you victimizing them? That's what that sounds like. And let me explain something to somebody. If I'm a person that's doing something wrong, yes, I do have to take some type of responsibility into what I did. I have to be self-aware of that. But what I won't do is take some type of responsibility when I'm the victim. That's like telling a woman that she got raped. You know what? You could have took some responsibility for that. You know, you didn't have to wear that dress. You know, but that just tell men that they should just come, and take that pussy. What? I don't give a fuck what she was wearing. I don't give a fuck how she was flirting. If she tell you no, and you rape her anyway, what the fuck do that got to do with her wearing a dress? that's too revealing, or she was flirting. Has nothing to do with it. This is what they're telling us now. When you hear these motherfuckers talking about both sides need to have a conversation. No, we don't. No, we don't. The conversation is amongst your side. The things that you need to change. Don't tell us what we need to change. Because they didn't start coming out speaking that people hate the police and to the citizens, mainly the black community, came out and called they bullshit. Called them out for their bullshit. So how is this two sides? You're no victim. The police is no victim. The police departments around this country are no victims. You're no victim. Ain't nothing being oppressed. You still doing whatever the fuck you want to do. You motherfuckers can go out and beat people up, violate people's rights, and get suspended and get paid for it. We do some shit like that to a police officer, we may got a job, we may get fired. We're gonna get fired from our job if we assault one of you motherfuckers. And to y'all, our jobs don't wait on an investigation. We don't get paid leave if we get arrested for assaulting a police officer. You stupid son of a bitch. So it ain't a two-side situation to have a conversation about. The conversation needs to happen amongst yourselves. What are we doing wrong? Why is the people feeling the way that they feel about us? Why are they talking about us like this? Why they got no respect for us? They the conversations you should have. We don't need to listen from you motherfuckers about how hard your job is. I don't give a fuck. Do these cops give a fuck about when they pull people over and people had a bad day and they may get flippant or get a little out of control with the police of their mouth? We see police officers don't give a fuck about that and escalate those situations. Right or wrong, my people, we know this is a fact. We know it's documented. They don't give a fuck about you having a bad day. They just want you to shut the fuck up and do what they tell you to do. They don't care you had a bad day. They gonna rough you up just because you having a bad day and they don't like your tone. We have seen it over and over again. So I don't need the community and the police officers to sit in one room and the police officers say all the fuck shit of we got hard jobs, it's a stressful job. Bullshit. Your job is not stressful. It's not hard. You're not in danger like that. And I don't give a fuck how hard, how much your job is in danger or stressful, however it is. It doesn't justify the so-called bad apples in your blue wall or how they act and they treat the American people. And you standing here defending that shit by not, and by them defending that shit will be that they're trying to have a conversation and plead their case to the people that have been violated by them. They pleading the case for them. I don't give a fuck. I haven't seen a video where a cop see somebody acting real crazy or something like that and say to the person, or, going back. I seen people act a fucking fool to the police and I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. Like I'm saying to the person that's wilding, like, won't he shut the fuck up, man? It's not that serious. Just take the ticket and go. Like I seen shit like that. But I have never seen a police officer say, look, listen, ma'am, sir, I know you might have a bad day. I don't know, but listen to me. I'm not here to make your job. I'm not here to make your day harder. I'm just doing my job trying to get to. I've seen a couple of people do it, but not in a way of saying they understand that this person may be having a bad day. I didn't see them say it and then escalate the situation because they still don't like the way the person is talking. I've seen it. So don't tell me about their days that they got stressful jobs, or whatever. It's like the same people they pull over. Those people, the citizens, have bad days and they got things going on in their house. I ain't never heard a police officer talking about my job is so stressful because I got financial things going on at home. The reason a lot of citizens probably having bad days when these police pull them over, niggas, they probably tired to work this long ass job and they getting paid shit and they got issues far as paying their bills at their home and they stressed and worried. But they don't give a fuck about none of that. I done seen them pull over a black kid and shoot a black kid dead because he was walking on from his job, and they didn't like the way how he was walking in the street, nigga. And all the brother was telling, man, look, I had a hard fucking day, man. I don't feel like dealing with this shit. I'm going home. I'm coming home from work. Instead of them just letting this brother just go home and tell him, listen, man, just stay out of the street, though, brother. No, they didn't do that. They escalated. Let me see your ID. For what? You pulled the boat because you say you trying to protect them. Just tell them, hey, brother, hey, it's not safe for you to be in the street. Can you get on the curve or move closer to the curve? No, they harass them. We seen this shit. Man, listen, man. And mind you, like I keep telling y'all, they are trained to de-escalate these situations. They know how to conduct themselves. When the citizen is acting good or bad or wilding, they know how to conduct themselves. They choose not to because they're lazy and they get away with being lazy. They get away with not doing the shit they've been trained to do. They get away with violating the rules. So why would they continue to give a fuck about the rules when they can violate them? You put anybody in that situation, and if they can every time they turn around, violate rules, do whatever the fuck they want to do, and nothing happens to them, they're going to continue to break the rules. I don't give a fuck what occupation you have. If a motherfucker ain't never stole a day in his life and he see other motherfuckers stealing from the job, after a while, and nothing happens to him, he gonna start stealing. Especially if a motherfucker got caught. Nothing ain't gonna happen, man. That's all, but Or you see a motherfucker talking disrespectful to another employee or to the boss or whatever the situation is. The other employees gonna think it's okay to do it as well because there's no consequences for it. Like I said, they have too much immunity for they're not held responsible for what they do wrong by even violating the rules. This is what I need these motherfuckers to understand. You can't keep telling the citizens we need to conduct ourselves a certain type of way and don't break no rules, don't violate and shit like that. Violate rules and laws when you do the same exact shit. You the police, you supposed to conduct yourself better than us. You supposed to be better than us. You walk around and act that way with your little badge and your gun, with your little authority that you take advantage of. So why you can't abide by the rules? Why you can't conduct yourself the right way? Why you gotta violate the rules that's set for you police officers? Why you need immunity? Fuck out of here. Don't tell me these people pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. No, they have been getting passes and getting paid to beat, harass, murder black people in this country and other minorities in this country. They get paid to do this. Even when they commit violations and they do this shit, they get suspended with pay. still getting paid. What job you know does that? What job in America that you know, other than these motherfuckers, that the taxpayers pay your salary? You abuse your bosses, really. You abuse them. And then when you get caught until the investigation finish, you get suspended and get paid. What job you know does that? What occupation you know does that other than these motherfuckers? Like I said, there's no way impossible that the community and the police need to have a conversation. We had these already. We've been telling y'all. We heard y'all side. And we're telling you your side don't make any sense. You're not holding your people accountable. You want the citizens to hold themselves accountable, but you don't hold yourselves accountable. I don't have the tolerance to be playing around with police. I don't have the tolerance to hear their bullshit anymore. I don't have the tolerance and the patience to be lectured by people that violates their own rules themselves. I don't need to be talked down to or talked to about morals or how to conduct myself as a citizen in this country when these motherfuckers morally stand by and allow the so-called bad apples and the bad cops to do what they do. And they don't say anything. You don't get to have conversations with somebody like me. I don't want to hear your point of view. Check yourself before you come explaining or trying to check me. I know how to conduct myself. You learn how to conduct yourself. Just like I know how to conduct my family or my daughter or how she act and shit like that. I know that's my responsibility to do that. It's your responsibility as a cop to check the other cops that do shit badly. And y'all are not children. My daughter's a child. Why do I know how to do that with my child, but you don't know how to do that with grown-ass adults that's supposed to be your brothers and sisters? The law that you're supposed to uphold. You don't even uphold the law, so how the fuck you want the citizens to respect the law or abide by the law? And let me just explain something to people real simple. Everybody, and I mean everybody, I don't give a fuck if you're a good Samaritan or not. We all violate something every day. Because you know why? Number one, we ain't perfect. Number two, they have so many fucking shit violations that you can and can't do. A lot of people ain't hip to a lot of these violations. Like, if you go to certain states and shit, like you go somewhere, motherfucker talk about you jaywalking. Where I'm from, niggas don't get no tickets for jaywalking unless a cop being petty. That's petty shit. That's you trying to make money off the people. Right there is a violation of my fucking rights. Jaywalking. You writing me a ticket or you can get arrested for jaywalking. The fuck out of here. You trying to make $1. And that's why people get upset and wind up going to jail. They're like, a ticket for jaywalking? The fuck out of here. You trying to make some money. And like I said, the fucking system is already against the people that they say they try to protect and serve. When you're automatic, listen, the system is already, listen, we know this for a fact, so they can't lie and hide behind this. They get a quota of how many people they give tickets and violations or whatever them shit may be, or arrests. They get a quota. The police officers. How is that protecting the people? You give them a quota to protect and serve? That don't even make any sense. It don't even go together. That means you're making money. And what the fuck are you making money off of tickets and shit like that to go to the police officers when the people that you're giving tickets to already pay their salary? It makes no sense. So you hustling the fucking people. We already paying your salary, and then we still giving you money to have you give us some bullshit ass violation tickets that we pay off, and it goes to them. It goes to their department. You're already getting paid to do your job. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. And we seen these jealous, hateful, disrespectful ass police officers sitting out there pulling people over because they in nice cars. We seen them do it. They envy, they jealous. Nobody told you to be a police officer. You could be doing what I'm doing. Whatever my occupation is, for me to be riding around in an expensive car or what I'm doing, you could do it too. Ain't that the American way? You could do it. But don't harass and disrespect me because you're jealous that you work in a fucking job that don't pay you shit in your eyes. We know these cops, a lot of these cops feel this way. We know they feel that way. That's why they fuck with the people. And mainly they do that shit to black people. Fucking with them because they're expensive cars. We know that. We done seen white people in expensive cars and they never fuck with white people. Let me get up out of here, people. Leave your comments, hit that like button, support your boy. It's your boy Kenny, man. Peace and love to the world. Fuck the police, nigga.